Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you well from wherever you watch this channel. Now, IPOA have only 3 days left based on the story that is coming up to conclude their investigation and probably hand over the file. I don't know whether it's to the parliament or to the DPP, but IPOA has 3 days. Now, IPOA has not confirmed the date they are going to conduct their investigation on the Deputy Inspector General who stepped aside. That's talking about DIG LAGAT.
Make the following demands. 1. Immediate dismantling of all killer squads and clandestine units operating within the Kenya Police Force and other security formations. These squads are a danger to the Republic and must be disbanded without delay. 2. Arrest, suspension, and impartial investigation with a view to prosecution of Eliud Lagat, the police officer widely believed to be the prime suspect in the abduction, torture, and murder of Albert OJUANG.
So that investigation or that grilling is what Kenyans are anxious to know about. In fact, Kenyans want to know what the DIG will say there. Will he own up and say that he's responsible? Will he say that it's true he launched the investigation, he complained? Will he say that he is the one who ordered the arrest of OJUANG? So this information Kenyans want to know, and it's going to come up during that grilling at the IPOA offices. Now, before we explore this story further, because IPOA, just like I told you, has 3 days. So first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, kindly take this opportunity, like this video to enable YouTube to share the video to many people. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed before, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. 2 more police officers were arraigned in court. Now, these are officers who are part of the team that was present during that shift. You remember, we were told about 3 policemen, but then the first person who was arrested is James Mukwana, and we talked about James Mukwana, and also there's that issue that James Mukwana changed. He really, what he did, he changed the statement he had given the IPOA initially. So IPOA is in a very tough situation right now. At the time I was doing this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, there was already information that IPOA had not received the call log they had requested for. This call log was to try to establish the communication. You know, it's going to help a lot in the communication. That is, for instance, if James Mukwana said there was an order from DIG through OCS to him, then there should be a way to prove that there was a communication there, first of all. Because, of course, there's a challenge again on that information, which it could be that there's some calls, yes, but the information that was being shared. So once the IPOA gets access to this call log, it will help them, you know, resolve this case and say maybe it's true there's a communication from the DIG to OCS. Then there's a communication from OCS to Mukwana, whether via SMS, most likely via call. And if at all there's a communication, is it coinciding with the timing? Because if at all, let's assume OJUANG was booked at 9 p.m., for instance, and there was a call at 9 p.m. from the OCS, then it's easy to say that maybe Mukwana is right, that he was seeking some clarification from the OCS on whether he should be allowed to book this person, or whether there is any directive that can be shared. Again, the timing is very important. Then again, a call between the OCS and the DIG is also very, very important in this investigation, because it will show whether it's true. At the time OJUANG was received at the Central Police Station, these conversations could have been conforming with the timing that he was being received. I mean, it will help I think the investigative teams to ascertain whether it's true that if at all DIG called the OCS at around 8:49, they talked for like 5 minutes. Then the OCS has a conversation with the police constable Mukwana. Then it can actually help establish something, that there could have been a communication ambayo ilikuwa in concurrent, and this communication must have been about the deceased. Now, of course, someone argued differently, that police they don't rely on verbal narratives, they rely on documents. An order has to come through a document flow. It's very important. But of course, if there's something shady to be done, kitu ambao sio sawa, I don't think there will be any documentation. Itakuwa ni messages tu na calls na hivyo kuongea kama signs na vitu kama hizo. So that part does not require a document. So I think hiyo ni part ya investigators kujaribu kuangalia, kufanya their own scientific ways of trying to find out if at all huyu kweli ilikuwa ni hivi ama ilikuwa hivi kaenda vile. So kuna njia, ndio maana tuko na DCI ambao wako hapa kufanya investigation, lakini IPOA wanafanya investigation kama DCI lakini kwa polisi. IPOA wanafanya kwa polisi. So DIG must present himself, because Kenyans wanataka yeye ajipresent. I think he's going to present himself. He stepped aside yesterday and I think he's going to make the move probably kama si kesho ni kesho kutwa, because IPOA have only 3 days. These 3 days they must conclude their investigation. 3 days. So if you look at the people who've been arrested, taken to court, the person ambaye hajakuwa statement yake hajachukuliwa ni LAGAT. So are you imagining what I'm imagining? Because the people who have all recorded their statements with the IPOA wako ndani. So LAGAT will record his statement. What is going to happen after that? I think that is the reason why IPOA bado wako hesitant to have him record a statement. Wanajiuliza, what should they do? They should just do the right thing, record the statement, alafu baada ya hapo, because all of those people who've recorded their statements wako behind bars at the moment.
Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat, who stepped aside on Monday, is among those summoned to appear before the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, to explain the circumstances surrounding the arrest and death of blogger Albert Ojwang. The IPOA board has approved the summons, but the exact date of his appearance will be determined by the authority's investigations team.
Are we foreseeing a scenario where IPOA will take DIG's statement and then put DIG behind bars? I mean, or are we going to foresee a scenario whereby IPOA will take the DIG statement but let the DIG walk scot-free? What is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Hiyo ni swala gumu sana kwa saizi kulielezea, lakini letu ni jicho tu. Wacha tuangalie, tuone chenye watafanya. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to rest my case there, but just go below in the comment section and tell us what to think about this development. Perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Till we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.